we did things that they can't do today. We actually did interviews, promos for a wrestling match on a grave, standing on a grave, and on the grave next door, we covered the plate over and put the opponent's name on the grave, and that in a cemetery. And I think that shit like this made the people really mad, especially in Catholic countries, religious countries, doing interviews on a grave on a grave and all that sort of stuff. We did a lot of crazy crucifixion on the side of a cage. We tied the guy up with barbed wire on the side of the cage with his arms out, just like Jesus on the cross. I don't know whether the people see back then. They weren't told the whole story, and they were believers. You know what I mean? Because they saw blood and a battle every night. They didn't see all this gymnastic stuff today. We didn't. The matches, we never had that gymnastic stuff. We fought. We battled, Andrew.
Yeah, and even to go into that a little bit, because this is one of the things too, is that obviously wrestling evolves over time, and different styles and different things have come in. But I mean, you two were brawling, and a lot of the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, and even going into the 1990s in your career. I mean, you guys were fighters in a lot of ways. And what was this like? Because I think that's an element of wrestling that's missing today, is that sometimes it doesn't feel like it's a big fight. And every match that you guys were in was a fight. It was a war. And, that's something that I think is somewhat missing in wrestling. And it's like that fight. Like every once in a while when I'm watching wrestling, I get the sense that there's a fight going on. And I think it's a real art when you get that big sense in it. And a lot of your matches have that.
Andrew, we built these stories from a single match, and then we do it finish, or it would be a double count out or whatever. Then we would go and do a time limit match, and then a DQ match, and then maybe a lump, and we'd get the baby faces would come back, and we would run out. So next time we'd come back with a lumberjack match. We told stories in that lumberjack match, and we do situations where we got out of the situation still holding the belts, but the baby faces were on top. So next minute would be a cage match. We'd build, this is going over 2 months, building that story to get to the cage match. And then after the cage match, we do a boot camp match all over the building. And then finally we do the barbed wire match or a fire match. That's how the story went. And so we're going through that and getting away with it all the time and getting away with it. And that the babyface not winning. And then finally, the big match at the end, the babyface goes over. But that's what got the heat, because we never got beaten. We kept the belts.